The reality is that most men don't fail because they tried and they lost. They fail because they never ever tried. You spend your whole life tiptoeing around risk, right? You're so risk averse. Whether it is that you're afraid of judgment, you're afraid of embarrassment, you're afraid of failure, or you're afraid of looking, stupid for 5 seconds. But here's the ultimate truth that nobody wants to say, and I've learned this the hard way. Always playing it safe is the easiest way to stay miserable. Run the risk. Why not, right? If it works out, what? You're very, very happy. Happiness comes your way. If it doesn't, you gain wisdom. As I say so many times, every L is not a loss. Sometimes an L is a lesson, and I would argue most times L's are a lesson, depending on how you look at life. But you should be looking at every single L you ever take in your life as a lesson, not a loss. Because the truth is, when you run that risk, whether you gain happiness because it actually worked out, or you learned a lesson because you failed, both situations actually move you forward. Both outcomes make you a stronger man. If you do something and it works out, well, you know that that's the right thing to do, so you keep doing it over and over again, right? Repetition, leads to success. Because at the end of the day, what's going to happen is that, if you do this and it works out, well, that's the correct way to do it. So you keep on doing it over and over again. If you do it and it doesn't work out, well, you can say to yourself, maybe, you can learn the lesson from that. If it goes to the shitter, you say, yo, I'm never doing it this way again. Or you could do the same thing, but tweak a little bit of the process and you get a different result next time. But, I genuinely think that, young men definitely need to ask themselves the questions like, what's the worst that can happen? That's one question I always used to ask myself whenever I was, trying to take a risk and, and it's kind of like not looking like it's going to work out. It's like, what's the worst that could happen? What's the actual worst that can happen? Because the truth is that if it fails, failure is going to slap the comfort out of you. Failure is going to teach you more than a win can ever teach you. And failure, inadvertently gives you the blueprint to know what to do the next time you do that. Listen, this is what I saw this quote in a book and it stuck with me forever, right? The man who risks nothing becomes nothing. If you never ever take a risk, you won't know. You're just going to be stagnant in the same position and you're going to be filled with regret. And regret is one thing that you can never ever recover from. So you have two options. It's either you run the risk or you stay exactly where you are.